am Christina Brito, and today I am at an event that is a little offbeat for me. Today's event is the annual general meeting of the Royal Institute of British Architecture, also known as RIBA. Stay tuned as we find out about architecture and what it means to be a part of the RIBA. I am with Mrs. Basanayake, the Honorary Secretary of RIBA members, Sri Lanka. Hi, Mrs. Basanayake. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're really stressed out with all your planning for today. So, can you tell us a little bit about what has gone into planning an evening like this?
Right, so we start planning not only the AGM, but right throughout the year we plan certain events so that our membership benefits from it. So an event like this would take us a few months to plan. One, because of the funding. One, because the second is because of the venue, booking of venues and things, and allocating speakers to speak about timely topics. And it is, although it looks
Smooth sailing.
Smooth sail, it is a tedious task.
I can imagine, especially with Corona, there are added challenges to putting this together. But if I may ask, how do you gather the funding to pull off such a magnificent evening?
Yes, so we have RIBA LIF, which is a part funding from the RIBA UK. But because we want to make this event a real glamorous one, and also to accommodate all the members, we need to have a venue in a 5-star hotel. So the cost increases, and we have to rely on sponsorships as well.
It's actually very fitting, this venue, given that it's one of the most iconic architectural buildings in the city. Everyone who grew up here knows about it. Now, you seem to put a lot of effort into this event. Can you tell me why it's so important to you to pull off such an event for RIBA?
Right, so I actually studied in the UK and did all my studies there, and came back, or partly came back for family commitments, and I met Nela, and I was really impressed with her positive thinking about promoting architecture and having something of RIBA UK in Sri Lanka. So. And I am a supporter of the cause, and since then we've managed to have many events to help the members with their careers, and also to uphold their standards and maintain their ethics, and so I believe that this is a worthy cause.
If there's an architect at home watching who isn't in a school which is accredited to the RIBA program, why do you think they should independently apply?
I think most importantly, when a place like RIBA supports the how do I say it, the member right throughout their careers, and also when a school is not accredited, it doesn't really mean that they are not of certain standards, but joining the RIBA and going through that process makes them known to the world and they would be considered as people who set standards and who are with some sort of who has an ethical background, who's always maintaining such high standards, basically. So I think it's quite important to join an institution like this so that it actually helps the members to build themselves up to a certain set standards, which is actually which is set by the RIBA, and you are recognized globally.
Thank you so much for your time, Mrs. Basanaik. I know you're really busy today. I'm not going to keep you any longer.
Thank you for having me.
I am with architect Nela De Soisa, who is also the chair of RIBA members, Sri Lanka. Hi, ma'am. Thank you so much for having us. I want to start off by asking you to give us a brief background on RIBA, please.
Okay. I started the RIBA members Sri Lanka in 2015. I initiated it when I was in the council of the RIBA. I was the first Sri Lankan to be on the council of the RIBA. I was elected as the international council member. There were two, and I was one. And at that time that I proposed, since both are schools of architecture, that is the University of Moratuwa and the City School of Architecture, it was recognized. I was just thinking it was high time that we start our chapter. And then Anthony Clerici, Vice President, Nations and Regions and Membership, came to Sri Lanka on his way to Chennai to inaugurate RIBA India. Unfortunately, that fell through due to internal politics. But then he came to Sri Lanka on his way and met the president of the Sri Lanka Institute of Architects, Professor Chitra Vedikara, who was the first woman president of the Sri Lanka Institute of Architects. Because for some reason, this architectural profession has been a male-dominated profession.
Let me interrupt you right there, please, for a second. What was the point of bringing down RIBA to Sri Lanka? Sorry, let me take that one more time. What was the point of bringing RIBA down to Sri Lanka? What was its aim?
Okay, Christina, RIBA is an internationally renowned educational institution. And they're famous for their architectural education. So that's why I said we have, both our schools accredited. My father was the person, my father, Dr. Justin Samarasekara, was the person who initiated the architectural education to come to Sri Lanka, because he was a FRIBA. And through the RIBA that he started the School of Architecture education, and is known as the father of architecture education in Sri Lanka. He was a past president, he was a founder member of the Sri Lanka Institute of Architects, past president, he was a gold medalist and an honorary fellow of the institute. Okay, so he was kind of responsible for the architecture education of the University of Moratuwa, and they honored him with an honorary doctorate. I, on the other hand, I got my RIBA on my own. Okay, I came from a barefoot school, which RIBA referred to it as barefoot school.
Why was it called a barefoot school?
Because it was, they hadn't heard about it. I was the first person who came and went to the RIBA and said, look, I want to be one of the RIBAs. They said, "Are you from Morato University?" I said, "No, I'm from a better school." And that's how it all happened.
What is it like for you trying to make your mark in what you call the male-dominated profession?
Well, I think I can do it better in UK and the UK and the RIBA and the AIA.
Because I've seen all your cards and you have so many achievements under your belt. What would be your favorite building in Sri Lanka?
That's a hard task. I have to think to answer.
Top 5?
Huh?
Top 5?
I have to think. I'm sorry. I have to think, and I won't be able to tell you just like that. And you will, Christina, stay on for the evening. You will see some fantastic work done by the MEAP. Now, MEAP is the Membership Eligibility Assessment Panel. We are putting 14 members during the lockdown period. We put 14 members through this process because they came from a barefoot school. Okay.
And what is this process that you...
Okay, CSA was not accredited till I initiated the accreditation. Because I did it on my own, as I told you. I went to London and I did the process all on my own. And I actually carried 60 kilos of luggage to show them, that I didn't come from a barefoot school. Okay. And by that time, RIBA had heard that I had won the Acacia Gold Medal. I was the first to win it for Sri Lanka. I won it for the BMW complex in Pathramala. Okay, and they were quite happy about it. So, abusing all that steam, I went to RIBA and they recognized me on my own as an individual. I didn't come from a recognized school.
That's really impressive, Miss Nella. That's all the time that we have because the show is only 10 minutes long.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to me, Architect Nella. Hopefully I'll see more of you around.
Tell you something.
Please.
In 2009, with a lot of effort, continued effort, since I got my RIBA in 1997, I initiated the RIBA accreditation process for my alma mater, which bore fruit in 2011. And today, all those who go through school do not have a problem. They have only to apply to get their RIBA. Now, the 14 MEAPs who went through school before the accreditation, they have to go through this Membership Eligibility Assessment Panel. And you would see their work today. We are going to show you.
We're really looking forward to that. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Christina.
I am with Roshan, who is a member of RIBA. Hi, Roshan. Thank you for your time.
Hi.
Let me start off by asking you, why is RIBA so important over here?
So, see, one of the most important things which RIBA brings to the table is the connection between Sri Lanka being, ruled by the British, being a colony of them. So, RIBA, their standards, their values, being an architect, what you need to think of all the time, be sensible, be conscious of what you do, and also one of the most important things is you sort of dictate how society works, right? I mean, that's what RIBA is all about.
Can you tell me about the process that one has to go through to join this organization?
So to become a member of the RIBA, either you have to graduate in the UK and complete your architectural course and become an architect and then apply for the membership, or there is another option where if you are not with a university which is registered with RIBA, you can have another sort of a different entry to sort of a small exam and get through that. Yeah.
What are the challenges that you all have to face because of COVID?
Good question. So one of the most difficult things, in my opinion, is actually not difficult. I think one of the most important things is that architects should start working together and creating spaces which, where today people are conscious of going out, having Zoom meetings. So architects need to think of how to put this together, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
To accommodate the need for distancing and all of that.
When they design, yes.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a good evening.
Thank you.
It has been an absolutely interesting and informative evening, to say the least. It's not something that I would have normally attended, but I'm really glad I did. It was a wonderful evening in one of Colombo's most beautiful buildings, set by our beloved Galle Face. That's it from me for today. Until next time, take care.